We are most fortunate to have the visit to the Institute of Dr. Manmohan Singh, Honorable Prime Minister of India, in the august presence of Shri N.K. Narayanan, His Excellency the Governor of West Bengal, Srimati Mamata Bandyopadhyay, Honorable Chief Minister of West Bengal, Sri Pranab Mukherjee, Honorable Finance Minister of India, Dr. Srikumar Banerjee, the Chairman of the Atomic Energy Commission, and of course, Professor Milan Sanyal, the Director of the Saha Institute of Nuclear Physics. While we await the arrival of our distinguished visitors and also the formal welcome by the Director, Professor Sanyal, may I take the liberty of showing you a documentary film on the Saha Institute of Nuclear Physics made by the noted filmmaker Shri Gautam Ghosh. The film is called Inspiration and is about half-hour long. Before getting on to the film, however, I have a couple of announcements to make. Due to security reasons, all members of the audience are requested to stay within the auditorium building until after the departure of the Prime Minister's motorcade from the Institute campus at the conclusion of the function. Also, after the arrival of the Prime Minister on campus around 5:30, you are requested to remain at your seats inside this hall until the departure of the Prime Minister and other dignitaries from the Institute campus. Finally, may I request you to switch off your mobile phones while being seated in this hall. And now, inspiration.
I often wondered about the power of nature, its monumental energy and its colossal force exhibiting itself in natural disasters. Erupting volcanoes with its destructive streams of lava that spread for miles and its volcanic ash that smothers and destroys all forms of life remind me of the powerful presence which makes man seem inconsequential. I look at the tsunami and other upheavals in our oceans and am humbled.
you just saw, which was a professionally made film by a very well-known filmmaker, we have prepared completely in-house a slideshow, which is a collage of the research, scientific research, that my colleagues and I perform here at the Institute. That the Prime Minister's motorcade has just arrived at the gates of the Saha Institute. So our distinguished visitors will be here very, very shortly. Honorable Prime Minister of India, Dr. Manmohan Singh. Chief Minister of West Bengal, Chairman of the Committee, and Professor Lal Sanyal, Director of the Saha Institute of Physical Physics. May I now request Professor Sanyal to formally welcome the audience.
Respected Dr. Manmohan Singh, Honorable Prime Minister, respected Sri M.K. Narayan, Honorable Governor of West Bengal, respected Srimati Mamata Banerjee, Honorable Chief Minister of West Bengal, respected Sri Pranab Mukherjee, Union Finance Minister, respected Dr. Sri Kumar Banerjee, Chairman, Atomic Energy Commission and Chairman, Governing Council, Saha Institute of Nuclear Physics, Dr. R. Chidambaram, my teacher and ex-chairman, Atomic Energy Commission and ex-chairman, Governing Council, Saha Institute of Nuclear Physics, respected Sri Ravi Ranjan Chattopadhyay, Minister of Science and Technology of West Bengal, dear ex-directors of Saha Institute of Nuclear Physics, Professor Manoj Pal, Professor S.N. Chatterjee, and Professor Vikas Sinha, respected Vice Chancellors of universities and directors of other institutes and units of Department of Atomic Energy, my friends and colleagues. With great pride, I welcome you all to the closing ceremony of Diamond Jubilee year of our institute that was founded by Professor Meghnad Saha on January 11, 1950. We started this celebration when President of India visited us in December 2009, and we are concluding this celebration today in presence of Prime Minister of India. In my mind, it signifies the importance of basic research given by the present government of India. Significant increase in funding for research has happened in recent years, and that is evident in growth of publication number. India is only second to China's growth rate in publication when average is much lower. But the number of publications may not mean much in bringing prestige and recognition to our country in basic science and technology. The basic science should be internationally competitive and path-breaking that improves our living condition. For example, Faraday's discovery of electricity and its production that changed human society forever. J.C. Bose's discovery of microwave communication that we use in mobile phones today. Fleming's discovery of penicillin that changed the human life expectancy forever. And Meghnad Saha's discovery, Saha equation of thermal ionization, that changed the way research is done in astrophysics and cosmology, the subject that connects human being to the universe. But we all know to have an Everest in Indian science, we need Himalaya. And the general growth of publication indicates that Himalaya is getting formed. To place India at the top, significant development of scientific infrastructure is required, and institutes like ours have to take responsibility for this to happen, so that Nobel Prizes again start coming as we become developed country technologically and otherwise. Over 6 glorious decades, this Autonomous Research Institute, funded by Department of Atomic Energy, has celebrated and practiced Meghnad Saha's legacy, a global quest for scientific truth at fundamental level. Some early feathers in the caps were building first cyclotron, first electron microscope, first nuclear magnetic resonance spectrometer in India. This tradition has been reflected in recent years in building a detector that lies in Large Hadron Collider in CERN. An achievement that has been further consolidated through closer collaboration in ALICE and CMS experiment in Geneva, CERN. The Indian National Gamma Array has been set up for probing nuclear structure, and a facility for Research in experimental nuclear astrophysics is being set up in our institute to extend Professor Saha's pioneering investigations on inner working of stars. On behalf of Saha Institute, it was my privilege to sign a milestone memorandum of understanding with DESI of Germany on 31st May 2011 in presence of our Prime Minister and Chancellor of Germany to make our institute the nodal institute of India for nanoscience research using Tetra-3 synchrotron at DESI. I am extremely proud to receive congratulations immediately after signing this MOU from Sri Pranab Mukherjee, Union Finance Minister. Only 4 such high energy, high brilliance synchrotron exist in the world. Apart from DESI, Germany, the other 3 are in France, USA and Japan. Saha Institute of Nuclear Physics is proposing a second campus to build a high energy, high brilliance 6 GeV 200 milliamp synchrotron, the Indian synchrotron for material and energy research, ISMART, the 5th in the world. I am in touch with Srimati Mamata Banerjee, the Honorable Chief Minister and dynamic leader for this purpose. The campus will strengthen basic research in energy material, disease biology, and theoretical and computational physics. Today, at the completion of our Diamond Jubilee year, the Institute looks back with pride and looks forward with hope and confidence. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Sanyal. May I now request Dr. Srikumar Banerjee, Chairman of the Atomic Energy Commission, to say a few words on this occasion.
Honorable Prime Minister, Honorable Governor of West Bengal, Honorable Union Finance Minister, Mananiya Paschim Bangher Mukhyamantri, Professor Milan Sanyal, Principal Scientific Advisor to the Government of India, some leading scientists present here, some of the former directors of Saha Institute of Nuclear Physics, my dear colleagues from Saha Institute and Variable Energy Cyclotron Center, young scientists, research scholars, let me add my word of welcome to all of you in this historic event of closing ceremony of the Diamond Jubilee celebration of this premier institute. Department of Atomic Energy has a mandate which covers a rather wide spectrum, starting from basic research to technology development to finally deployment of this technology for societal benefits. And for this massive program, right from the beginning, along with Dr. Bhabha, Professor Meghnad Saha dreamt that we must have 2 types of institute to complement each other. On one side, on one front, we need institutes like Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, Saha Institute of Nuclear Physics, Institute of Physics, Bhubaneswar, Institute of Mathematical Sciences, Chennai, Harishchandra Institute in Allahabad. Such institutes provide the basic science capability for the department, while on the other front, on the technology development front, we need colossal technology institutes like Bhabha Atomic Research Center, Indira Gandhi Center for Atomic Research, Raja Ramanna Center for Advanced Technology, and Variable Energy Cyclotron Center here. On this very special occasion, let us recall some of the very important achievements of the Saha Institute of Nuclear Physics. Just now, Professor Sanyal mentioned that the first cyclotron of this country, which happens to be the 3rd cyclotron in the world, was built here indigenously. In the same manner, the first transmission electron microscope was built in this center. And way back, this is in the late 40s and early 50s of the earlier century. So you can see that this institute has given the right importance of building sophisticated scientific equipment indigenously and using them, doing research which are of the top level. This tradition or this trend continued in Saha Institute, and even today it is following the same tradition as was well established from the time when Meghnad Saha set it up. The second point which is very important for this institute that Saha recognized way back in late 40s, that the biological sciences or life sciences has to go in parallel, in tandem with the physical sciences. The biophysics group of this center, that is why, was very strong and have had enormous contribution which are well recognized amongst the peers in the field. Today, Saha Institute has a very ambitious plan. This ambitious plan includes building up of a latest generation synchrotron. This includes using the advanced technology of a supercomputer in several experiments and several theoretical work. In fact, today the theory group of this institute has made its mark in various areas, including high energy physics, cosmology, and also on the other side on nanoscience and technology. Some of the modern topics like nanoscience and technology, the interface areas between biology and physics, I would say not only biology and physics, biology, physics and chemistry, all these are being dealt with in this institute, and we know the importance of the results which are coming out from this institute, which are all recognized in the international level. So on this very important occasion, it is my present duty to congratulate the scientists here to really remain in the cutting edge of the scientific discovery, and at the same time, I enthuse the students and the young researchers who are present there. For them, a very bright future is ahead, and it's my, again, a pleasant duty to thank all our important dignitaries who have come and graced this occasion today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Banerjee. May I now request Sri Pranab Mukherjee, Union Finance Minister, to say a few words on this occasion.
Honorable Prime Minister, Honorable Governor of West Bengal, Honorable Chief Minister of West Bengal, Dr. S. Banerjee, Chairman AEC, Professor Milon Kumar Sanyal, Director of the Institute, luminaries of the scientific community, distinguished guests, members of the faculty, students, ladies and gentlemen. It's indeed a privilege for me to be associated with the concluding session of Diamond Jubilee of this prestigious institute. First of all, I would like to congratulate the management, faculty, and all concerned with this institute on the occasion of this important milestone. 60 years provide us an opportunity to look back from where we started, where we are, and where we desire to reach. It is your collective and persistent efforts in promoting quality education and scientific research work that has brought this institute to its level of preeminence in the country and well recognized by the international community. Professor Meghna Saha, the founder director of this institute, has a unique place in the history of astrophysics and modern science in India. He was an ardent advocate of the peaceful uses of nuclear energy. He initiated in the first parliament the debate on this subject on 10th May 1954. As we all know, his theory of thermal ionization, which explained the origin of stellar spectra, was one of India's significant contributions to the world of science during the 20th century. Nomination of Professor Saha for the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1935-36 bears testimony to his excellence in undertaking a research. Professor Saha was keen to set up a modern research institute with the state-of-the-art equipment developed indigenously and used by scientists to do cutting-edge scientific experiments. It was towards meeting that goal in 1950 Professor Saha founded this institution. From the very beginning, this institute had an international character, having been inaugurated by no less than the Nobel Prize-winning physicist Irene Curie-Joliot, the daughter of legendary Madame Curie. Over the years, as the institute has grown, its international interface has also expanded significantly. In the process, realizing the dream of Professor Saha, today, collaboration with this institution is much sought after by leading overseas institutions because of its excellence and the quality of contribution in expanding the knowledge in this field. Our higher and technical education system has grown and is perhaps among the largest in the world. Yet, our research output has to improve substantially to meet our growing needs for technology and to compete with that of the developed world. We have not been able to make a significant mark internationally in the registration of patents and innovations, especially in the field of this branch and other critical branch of science. In that context, it is commendable that this institute is making sincere efforts to motivate young minds to join the streams of science and to carry out original and innovative research. As early as 1950s, Professor Saha realized the importance of scientific training of young people for proper initiation into research. He set up a post-MSc program, the first pre-doctoral training program of its kind in India. We need to take this forward and create ample opportunities for youngsters to take up the career as scientists in diverse areas of relevance to our nation and the well-being of our societies. Ladies and gentlemen, I firmly believe that the institution is poised to emerge as a leading center of scientific research and development in the world. In the process, it would build on the legacy of its dynamic founder, Director, Professor Meghnad Saha. I urge this erudite faculty to spare no efforts in making this vision a reality and contribute to producing research scholars of eminence and of international repute. I wish you all success on the conclusion of the Diamond Jubilee celebration. Wish you best. Go and keep the flag high. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much, sir, for your words of wisdom and advice. I now have the pleasant duty of requesting Srimati Mamata Bandyopadhyay, Honorable Chief Minister of West Bengal, to say a few words on this occasion.
অনেক ধন্যবাদ মাননীয় প্রধানমন্ত্রীজি, শ্রদ্ধেয় প্রণবদা, মাননীয় রাজ্যপাল মহাশয়, মিস্টার ব্যানার্জি, মিস্টার সান্যাল, অল ডিস্টিংগুইশড গেস্ট, আমাদের ডেলিগেটস, ফ্রেন্ডস এবং আমার ছাত্র যুব বন্ধুরাও, ভাই এবং বোনেরা, ডায়মন্ড জুবিলি সেলিব্রেশন উপলক্ষে আমাদের এখানে আমন্ত্রণ এবং আপনাদের নিমন্ত্রণ পেয়ে আমরা সকলেই খুব গর্বিত। দেশের কয়েকটি জায়গা আছে যাকে থেকে গর্ব করা যায়, যাদের দেখে স্বপ্ন দেখা যায়, যাদের দেখে পথ চলতে খুব ভালো লাগে এবং যাদের দেখতেও খুব ভালো লাগে, সেরকমই একটি জায়গা সাহা ইনস্টিটিউট। সারা পৃথিবীতে গর্ব করার মতো জায়গা। আপনাদের এই সুন্দর দিনে না আসতে পারলে নিজেকেই বঞ্চিত মনে করতাম। বিজ্ঞান এমনই একটা জিনিস যা মাটির পৃথিবীকে উন্নয়ন, কল্যাণ, কৃষি থেকে শিল্প, সমাজ উন্নয়ন থেকে মাটি থেকে আকাশ, আকাশ থেকে পৃথিবী, সর্বত্রকে কল্যাণের মাধ্যমে যুক্ত করে। এবং একদিন এটা তো আমাদের সকলের কাছে গর্বের পৃথিবী ছিল। মেঘনাথ সাহা থেকে শুরু করে আমাদের যে অন্যতম বিখ্যাত বৈজ্ঞানিক সত্যেন্দ্রনাথ বসু, প্রফুল্লচন্দ্র রায়, আমাদের জগদীশচন্দ্র বোস, এক একটা ইতিহাস, এক একটা পৃথিবী। নাসা থেকে ভাষা কোথায় আমরা নেই, সব জায়গাতে আমরা ছিলাম। স্বর্ণযুগ একটা তৈরি করেছিল আমাদের বৈজ্ঞানিকরা, আমাদের বিজ্ঞানের সমাজ তাদের গবেষণার মধ্য দিয়ে। কিন্তু আমি দুঃখের সাথে কখনো কখনো ভাবি, কখনো কখনো রাজনীতিকরণের অন্তঃশ্বাস শূন্য দুর্ভিক্ষের ছায়া আমাদের এই এগিয়ে চলার পথটাকে অনেকখানি রুদ্ধ করে দেয়। আজকে আসুন, আজকে শুভ দিনে আমরা শপথ নিই। আমরা চাই গবেষণায় আপনারা অনেক এগিয়ে যান, উন্নয়নে এগিয়ে যান, আরো ছাত্রছাত্রী তৈরি করুন। বিজ্ঞান আমাদের দেশের সম্পদ, বিজ্ঞান আমাদের কল্যাণ। এই কল্যাণময় জগতে সাহা ইনস্টিটিউট আবার একটা স্বর্ণ বিতান তৈরি করে স্বর্ণ কেতনের দিকে, স্বর্ণ যুগের দিকে আপনারা এগিয়ে চলুন। সমস্ত সহযোগিতা, সমস্ত সমর্থন আমাদের হৃদয়ের অন্তঃস্থল থেকে আমরা আপনাদের জন্য নিয়োজিত করব। আমি এখনো মনে করি সাহা ইনস্টিটিউট মেঘনাথ সাহাকে আজকে স্মরণ করে বলি, রবীন্দ্রনাথ ঠাকুরের ভাষায়, তুমি নব নব রূপে এসো প্রাণে, এসো গন্ধ বেদনে, এসো গানে। এবং সাহা ইনস্টিটিউটের সকলকে বলি, এসো দুঃখে সুখে, এসো মর্মে, এসো নিত্য নিত্য শুভ কর্মে। শুভ কর্মে, ভালো কর্মে সকলের ভালো হোক। মনে রাখবেন, দিস ওয়ার্ল্ড ইজ দ্য গ্রেটেস্ট ওয়ার্ল্ড ফর দ্য ইউনিভার্স। Let us hope for the future. Let us hope for the young generation. They should be dedicated for their betterment, for the future, and we are always with you. Thank you so much for giving us this.
মাননীয় মুখ্যমন্ত্রীকে আমাদের ধন্যবাদ এবং কৃতজ্ঞতা জ্ঞাপন করে পরের বক্তৃতায় যাই। May I now request His Excellency, the Governor of West Bengal, Shri M.K. Narayanan, to speak a few words on this occasion.
Honorable Prime Minister, Honorable Chief Minister of West Bengal or Paschim Banga, I'm not very sure there. Honorable Union Finance Minister, Chairman of the Atomic Energy Commission, Shri Kumar Banerjee, Director of the Saha Institute of Nuclear Physics, Professor Milan Sanyal, and members of the scientific fraternity who are present here today. It is my proud privilege to welcome the Honorable Prime Minister to this epochal event, the conclusion of the Diamond Jubilee celebrations of the Saha Institute of Nuclear Physics. I also take this opportunity to welcome the Honorable Prime Minister to West Bengal in my capacity as the Governor of the state. This is one of the most fortuitous periods in the history of West Bengal, a period of great awakening and promise of revolutionary changes symbolized by the term Parivartan. It is thus fitting that the Honorable Prime Minister, who ushered in economic reforms in 1991 with ringing words paraphrasing Victor Hugo, and I quote, "No power on earth can stop an idea whose time has come," should preside over the concluding ceremony of the Diamond Jubilee celebrations of the Saha Institute of Nuclear Physics. We are living in the age of science. It is often said that there are more scientists alive and practicing today than in all periods in history combined. Science permeates the cultural outlook of our societies and contributes enormously to human welfare. the Honorable Prime Minister has made it his mission to see that nuclear science is made available for the benefit of our people and for all mankind. His presence here today is testimony to his commitment to this idea. As is well known, the Saha Institute of Nuclear Physics was the fulfillment of the dream of one of India's greatest scientists, Professor Meghnad Saha. Fascinated by the electrifying discovery of nuclear fission by Hahn and Strassmann in 1939, he immediately recognized the immense potential of nuclear science. He therefore set about creating an Institute of Nuclear Physics, personally supervising the program step by step, brick by brick, and saw to its fulfillment in 1949. The Institute was formally inaugurated in January 1950 by none other than the renowned physicist, Madame Irene Joliot-Curie. Over the past 60 years, the Institute has crossed many milestones, the latest being the agreement between the Saha Institute of Nuclear Physics and the Deutsches Elektronen Synchrotron, Germany, which Professor Milind Sanyal just mentioned. This will enable Indian scientists to access Petra 3, the world's best high-energy synchrotron light source and free election laser source flash at Germany's DESY. The landmark agreement, as Professor Milind Sanyal just said, was signed in the presence of our Honorable Prime Minister and the German Chancellor, Dr. Angela Merkel, in Delhi in May this year. It reflects the high standing of scientists belonging to both the SINP and of Indian nuclear scientists as a whole. On the occasion of the concluding celebrations of the Diamond Jubilee of this institute, I wish the Saha Institute of Nuclear Physics all the very best in their future endeavors. Thank you.
For those kind words, sir, I now have very proud duty of requesting the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Dr. Manmohan Singh, to address the audience.
Your Excellency, Governor of West Bengal, Shri N.K. Narayanan, Honorable Chief Minister of West Bengal, Kumari Mamta Banerjee, my friend and cabinet colleague, Shri Pranab Mukherjee, Dr. Shri Kumar Banerjee, Dr. Milind Sanyal, esteemed members of the faculty and students and staff of this great institute, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I am delighted to have this opportunity to be in your midst on the occasion of the concluding session of the Diamond Jubilee celebrations of the Saha Institute of Nuclear Physics. On this special and historic occasion, I heartily facilitate each and every one of you who have been associated with the development of this great institute, and I wish to congratulate each one of you on your many splendid achievements. The establishment of this magnificent institute would not have been possible but for the far-sighted vision of Professor Meghnad Saha. Professor Saha belongs to that pantheon of intellectual giants who have guided and inspired generations of young Indians. Professor Saha's seminal work on astrophysics and mathematics is recognized globally. But as with every successful leader and visionary, his institution building efforts stood out as much as his scientific genius. Professor Saha was among the original members of the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research. His role in the promotion of scientific research in our country and in the establishment of centers of excellence such as this one was truly enormous. He also contributed to development activities, particularly in the area of flood control, the setting up of the Damodar Valley Corporation and the establishment of the River Research Institute near Kolkata owe a great deal to his pioneering zeal and efforts. His contribution to our planning process in the country in the 1950s, with the full encouragement of Jawaharlal Nehru, is all too well known. Ladies and gentlemen, I am truly delighted to see that over the decades, this institute has lived up to the ideals and vision of its great founder. It has several achievements to its credit, not least the first electron microscope and the first cyclotron in our country. The concept of pre-PhD courses started by this institute was also the first of its kind in our country. The emphasis on a multidisciplinary approach to higher learning with focus on physical sciences as well as biological sciences has been another valuable innovation. I am very happy to learn that the Saha Institute has produced more than 1,000 research publications during the last 4 years and awarded about 70 PhD degrees. In a developing country like ours, with scarce resources, there is often a debate on how much our country should be investing in basic and fundamental research. We were fortunate that the founding fathers of our republic were very clear in their minds that if India was to become a leading industrial and technological nation, there was no option but to promote fundamental scientific research. That approach, I'm very happy to note, has yielded us rich dividends. Institutes such as yours are today the backbone of our strong scientific and technological infrastructure. You deserve our fullest support in the preservation of your autonomy and in meeting your resource requirement. I, as Prime Minister, assure you of my commitment to achievement of both these objectives. In a fast-changing world, the quality and scale of a country's scientific knowledge base determine the competitiveness of its economy and the pace of its overall development. We are committed to creating an environment that attracts young men and women towards science and scientific research. We have devised policies and mechanisms that draw the best minds to this scientific vocation. But I recognize much more needs to be done in years to come. It is our collective duty to identify young talent, train them well, and provide them an environment that is conducive to advanced research and the spirit of discovery. Our aim should be to produce more Nobel laureates. The doors for international cooperation in high technology areas have opened for India, and I am confident will open further. Our scientists should therefore use these unfolding opportunities to develop an international temper and outlook. There should be greater international collaboration between our research institutes and those from other countries. Research institutions cannot function in isolation. There should be closer linkages between academia and industry, and a seamless transfer of knowledge should take place from the laboratory to the shop floor. Our government is encouraging this process at all levels, but the private sector can also make a significant contribution. Higher investments in research and development should be accorded high priority across the economy. It is a sad commentary that the number of patents filed by Indians is still very low as compared to the developed world, and even as compared with some developing countries. We must encourage original thought and innovation and ensure that innovators are amply rewarded. This will create a virtuous cycle of innovation and reward. Ladies and gentlemen, the Saha Institute forms an integral part of the mission of the Department of Atomic Energy. I would like to compliment the Department of Atomic Energy and all its organizations and entities for the success that we have achieved in the implementation of our indigenous three-stage nuclear energy program. The availability of safe and affordable energy is an important factor in enabling us to realize our aspirations for growth and development. I am convinced that nuclear energy will play an important role in our quest for a clean and environmentally friendly energy mix, and as a major locomotive to fuel our development processes. We are in the process of expanding our civil nuclear energy program. Even as we do so, we have to ensure that the use of nuclear energy in India meets with the highest safety standards. This is an issue on which there can be no compromise. I would call upon the Saha Institute and other similar institutions to contribute to enhancing the safety of our nuclear installation. In conclusion, I would like to acknowledge the enormous contribution that India's scientists have made in the development and progress of our country. They are second to none in the world. They have proven their skills in various disciplines of scientific and technological endeavor. I am confident that they will bring even greater glory to our nation in years to come. In this process, our government will stand by the scientific and technological community in scaling new heights. Ladies and gentlemen, I congratulate all of you on the Diamond Jubilee of this great institute. You have done exceedingly well in the first 60 years of your existence. The nation is proud of your achievements, but I venture to think that the best is yet to come, that the next 60 years of your existence will be still more productive in the service of the people of our great country. May your path be blessed, and I thank you.
Thank you very much indeed, sir, for those words of wisdom and inspiration. We are ever so grateful to you for gracing us with your presence. That brings us to the close of this Diamond Jubilee celebrations. I thank each and every member of the audience for his or her participation in this ceremony. Thank you very much.
Dear friends, we are very proud and privileged that Prime Minister of India will be coming for the completion of our Diamond Jubilee celebration. And along with him, I have Governor of West Bengal, and then Chief Minister of West Bengal, and Pranab Mukherjee, Union Finance Minister, Dr. S. Banerjee, Chairman of the Energy Commission, who is also Chairman of our voting body of this institute, and all of them will arrive here just after 5:30 or so. In fact, last night I was going through some literature and I found that there was a letter from famous scientist Arthur Compton, who discovered this Compton effect, celebrated Compton effect. I just quote that it is a pleasure to have this letter written to Professor Meghnad Saha. It's a pleasure to have the opportunity of congratulating you on the occasion of your 60th birthday for your outstanding achievements, especially in the fields of thermodynamics. As you know, I at one time had the honor of nominating you for the Nobel Prize for your work in the area. This is Arthur Compton. Of course, he nominated Meghnad Saha for Nobel Prize, but we all know that he didn't get it. But he was of that type, one of the top scientists in the world, and we are very proud that he founded our institute. This letter is interesting in two ways. One is 60th birthday of Meghnad Saha. This letter was written, and we are celebrating 60th birthday of our institute. And second is, he wanted our founder to get the Nobel Prize. India didn't get Nobel Prize since independence in science, but thanks to Dr. Manmohan Singh and the central government that the funding in basic research and science has increased substantially over the last few years. Hopefully, India will become one of the top nations in the science and technology. You will hear all this tomorrow. Now, about Saha Institute of Nuclear Physics, I have given a handout to you so that it's very easy for you to see and all that. But I would like to tell you that I am getting complete and full support from the state government for our several future plans, including one that we are pushing to have a state-of-the-art synchrotron in near Calcutta. The location is not yet finalized, but we are discussing with the state government. And thanks all of you for your very nice support from the press that we are getting for take up this mega science project. We are also going to have the Director General of SAR on 26th. And in fact, as you know, that our institute is contributing strongly in the SAR project at Geneva, and he is coming on 26th for that. We are also going to have in November the son of Madam Irene Curie, who founded our institute. The foundation stone was laid by her, the daughter of Madam Curie. And as you know, this particular year, we are celebrating the year of chemistry, International Year of Chemistry, and it happens to be also the 150th birthday of Acharya Gokul Chandra Ray. And in November we will celebrate that. So actually 2010 and 2011 is extremely important year for us, and we have not only gone through the detailed science review. You know, what we produce here is only papers which is published in the top international journal. So we also wanted to know how are we at the international level. So actually I brought in people from top universities like Harvard University, University of Cambridge, University of Oxford, and Argonne National Laboratory, Brookhaven National Laboratory, and many other places throughout the world, from Japan, from US. All these scientists, many of them actually came and spent several days with us, and they have given us a report that how Saha Institute performs internationally. And I'm very happy to inform you the report is extremely positive. Of course, there is always a scope of improvement, and we are all trying for that. There are very concrete suggestions these experts, international experts, have given up. And I'm quite sure the visit of Prime Minister, Chief Minister, Governor, and Finance Minister will give us a big confidence that in future Saha Institute of Nuclear Physics will become one of the top institutes. Thank you. If you have any question, I can always.
As you mentioned, funding in basic science research substantially increasing. Do you think Mr. Manmohan Singh, Prime Minister of India, because he is a science and
Yes, of course, during his time, there is a substantial increase in the science and technology funding, and of course, it goes to him. Just funding will not bring the science and technology at the international level. All of us have to work, and in fact, in our institute, we have started a few schemes like the open advertisement applications from abroad who are returning. And in fact, recently we have recruited many of them. Right now, our government rule doesn't allow us to recruit the non-India as faculty member. But interestingly, we are getting many applications which are non-Indian also. They want to come and join in our institute from US and other places. But this we are discussing. There is a possibility, but right now there is no possibility. But people who are our Indian origin, Indian people, they either did their PhD here, went for postdoc abroad, wants to return, or if did their PhD abroad and did postdoc abroad and wants to return. This advertisement is helping us a lot. Getting very. See, ultimately in science, what matters is talent. Just money will not get you. So you need people like Meghnad Saha, people like Sundar Ghosh, who will bring the science at the top level, C.V. Raman, they are brains. So we have to encourage these brainy people to contribute for our country, so that India's name goes at the top level. And ultimately, the prestige of the institute is obtained when not the institute, a country or institute, when this institute or country is recognized as a knowledge place. That means this is a knowledgeable place. This country is knowledgeable. The institute is knowledgeable. That's the only way you get the prestige. For that, you need to recruit good people. You need to produce good papers. And your paper should be good enough so that internationally recognized, cited, and that's the only way. And also we must develop the state-of-the-art infrastructure to carry out this kind of research. Nowadays research cannot be done just simply looking at the sky on ARI. It's not possible. You have to have appropriate infrastructure, and that is where the funding comes in. I will just show you a small 4-minute video, which I will show to the dignitaries tomorrow. But when it will be shown to them, you will not get chance because you will be captured in the auditorium. So I thought maybe today you can have a look to this video. So please, maybe you can start this. Or just wait so that they can rotate their camera. This is the first cyclotron which Meghnad Saha made, and it actually is the first in the country and third in the world. These are the 5 subjects on which we work. And you know that President visited us in December. She went to few laboratories, and I recently signed an agreement with Germany about synchrotron radiation in presence of Prime Minister and Chancellor. Here is our chairman and earlier director Manoj Pal. President is visiting our laboratory. This is Prithviraj Chauhan, then Minister of Science and Technology. This is Manoj Pal, Srinivasan and Vikas Sinha, Kapotkar and others. Recently, Sri Kumar Banerjee and these people. This is Penrose. Actually, last year we had 3 Nobel laureates coming in our institute over the last 1 year. We also do a lot of outreach programs with school children. So this is one such occasion. You can see them, they are looking at our auditorium display. This is one of the conferences, this Professor Leggett, Nobel laureate. This is our library. These are some of the instruments. This is our typical output. This is theoretical physics. We have a state-of-the-art computer, Gray computer, based in the country. And then this atomic resolution, atomic force microscope, and X-ray scattering technique, magnetism. What happened? Load shedding. So this is a transmission electron microscope. We also do, as I was telling, the CERN collaboration in Geneva that we have strongly. This is a disease biology, a new program we have started, that the molecular origin of the disease, various disease, particularly thalassemia and few others which are prevalent in the distant world. We have 3 divisions working. So this is just a telescope, small telescope, which is very popular for our students. That's how we get it.